What is up, YouTube? This is DBZ49 coming at you with a updated Dinomist deck profile, and your boy DBZ49 just topped with Dinomist once again. In fact, twice within this month, and it's just great. I mean, I've just been dominating the meta with Dinomist, and people just cannot believe what I'm doing right now. And I've made some slight modifications here and there, so I just wanted to show that off. And without any further ado, let's get on with the deck profile. Starting off with the main deck. Main deck for the most part is the same. You know, you run the triple Rex. I've done multiple deck profiles, so I'm not even going to explain what these really do. But one thing I will mention is that during my second and third games, I may side out a copy of Dinomist Rex, because if I want to go first, I don't really want to see him. His only purpose of going first would be if you want to pendulum summon him out or having him as a scale. But other than that, you really need to find a way to get out Electromite as quickly as possible, and he's not a way to get him out. Next you run the triple Brachion. A great way to go to Electromite going second, because it's pretty much a Cyber Dragon. I always say that in my deck profiles, but yeah, that's the best way to explain him. And then triple Ceratops, probably my favorite one, just because he's your Electromite enabler in the sense that if you already have a Dinomist face up, you can special summon for free. Make any Link monster. It doesn't even have to be Electromite, but you know, normal summon or special summon a Dinomist Terran or Plesios and special summon for free, and then just, you know, Link. It's that easy. Next you run the triple Plesios. It's really neat because if you have multiple copies of him, like, you can modulate the attack and defense of your post monster, which comes in handy because there are times where your Dinomist monsters need to get over stuff, and you'll need multiple copies of him. Like, for example, I played a Chaos Max guy, and I couldn't get over his Chaos Max Dragon. The only ways I could have done it was shuffling it with Dinomist Rex if he had another monster, which he didn't, or just lower his attack points like crazy, and Plesios did that for me, so that was pretty neat. Next, you run the triple Terran. One thing I do want to mention is that cards like Ash and Droll don't really hurt you, and the only things, or cards like Mistake and stuff like that, and it would only hurt cards like this, because this card, like, when it destroys a monster by battle, you can search any Dinomist card, and the only card that does that is Dinomist Charge. Those are the only two cards that add cards from your deck to your hand. But other cards like Desires and Upstart Goblin, like, you just draw cards, so you're able to do that under Mistake. Because I got mistaked once during this past locals with Paleos, but I was able to still resolve Desires and stuff, but I wasn't able to add stuff with him. But yeah, that's all I wanted to mention. Next, I run the triple Passing Glider. Another reason why this deck is really neat is because you're able to side out stuff really easily, and whenever I go second, I always side 3 copies out. But I want to go first, like, you want to see him so you can make Electromite faster. And it's a scale 3, it's a machine, level 5, so you can go into infinity and whatnot. Next, I would play the triple Magical Abductor. This is my prime target for my Electromite to send from deck to the extra deck, because you can plus off of it if you resolve enough spell cards and get a free search. Or if you play against your opponents, like, you'll stack up counters, especially against Sky Strikers, so that's really nice. That's a level 4, it's a scale 3, so you're able to pendulum summon your stuff. So yeah, next you run the triple Curtain Razors. Really good. It's a high scale, so you're able to pendulum summon everything back if you really need to. And also you can summon itself from the scale. And people forget that if it's the only monster on your side of the field that has 2200 attack, the amount of times where people just crash into this card with 2200 attack and lose the duels is absolutely hysterical. So that's really one cool thing about it. And then lastly, I run the one Rescue Hamster. Sometimes side it out during some matches, because when you go in first, you really don't want to see this card in your opening hand. But it can be a game changer, and I used it in the finals this last locals tournament I won, and it won me a duel. I just went to Best Dweller against Gokis, and they couldn't do anything. Next for the hand traps, we run triple Veiler and double Ghost Ogre. This is the perfect ratio, and in my opinion, you don't want to run any more hand traps or any less, because if you run more, it's just going to ruin your consistency. It'll be hard to, make your boards. But I just think these are the best because Ghost Ogre is a spot removal, and very few hand traps do that, and Effect Veiler is Effect Veiler. I mean, if you have impermanence, you may want to run that, but Effect Veiler does put in a lot of work. And some matches like Ash and Drolls, I feel like they're not as good as people think they are. I just think they're overpriced, and you can go by winning by just running these budgetable hand traps. So that's it for the monsters. Next for the spells, run the triple charge. This is amazing. You get to search any Dinomist card upon activation, and then once when a Dinomist card is sent to the extra deck, you add it to your hand. So, like, a lot of things with the pendulums is that they stay in the extra deck and you're not able to pendulum summon everything back. But with this, you can recur stuff and pendulum summon more stuff back, and that's why this card is really nice. Like you're able to pendulum summon like consistently a lot of monsters back, so that's really good. And it's because of this card, especially when you link, like your card will just come back to you, or when you use Dinomist Hound to tribute a Dinomist card, it'll just come back and you just keep looping and you just keep bouncing stuff, and that's just absolutely broken. And now my favorite card in the deck, honestly, is Pod Desires. The amount of times I've resolved this card is insane. And I keep saying it in every video. I don't even look at the stuff I banish, except when I resolve Rescue Hamster. It's the only time I look at the stuff I banish. Other than that, I don't care. The card says draw 2 cards. It's amazing. But Cali Effect said it best. It's like that girl that you see in the club once. After that, you don't want to see her again. So that's a really nice quote I see that I heard from Cali Effect. So yeah, once you resolve it once, like it's pretty nice, and then you want to gain counters with Magical Abductor, so that's pretty cool. And then finally for the spells, I run Upstart Goblin, another sidable card. I only run 7 spells, but it's good enough to where you can resolve Magical Abductor, and that's the idea with running all these spells. And last for the traps, I run triple Dinomist Howling. Absolutely ridiculous. It can play under anti-spell, so you can set your scales for free, and during the player's turn you contribute a Dinomist card to bounce something on your opponent's side of the field. It can be anything, and that's really nice. And with Dinomist Charge you can do the loop. And also, I wanted to just do a ruling question because a lot of people have been asking me. So for example, if they Book of Moon, a Dinomist card that's already face-up on the field, you can still resolve this card to tribute to bounce, because tribute is cost, and it's the same ruling as Icarus Attack, for those of you who are wondering. So yeah, that's it for the Dinomist. That's it for the main deck. Now for the sideboard, I modified this slightly. I still run this triple sphere mode just for those decks that run a bunch of monsters that you just need to get rid of, especially the extra link stuff. But you can still play under sphere mode, because if you go second, like you can still pendulum summon. You can summon your Brachion and then a Ceratops and Link, or something like that. And you can, if you always want to OTK, or if you try to get some massive damage, try to get over this card, you can always suck it up with Infinity, or you can use Dinomist Rex to target, or to spin it away. So that's pretty nice. Next, I run the triple Spell Canceller. Card's absolutely broken. Let me just tell you how good this card is. So basically, I had the most broken board on Earth with Spell Canceller and a bunch of stuff on field. This guy evenly matched me, and he was a Sky Striker player, and the only card I left out was Spell Canceller, and I attacked him 5 times in a row for game. It's just that simple. This card is just so good against Spell Strikers. They cry when they see this card. I don't know why people are not playing this card as much, but it's just really good. Next, I run the double Gamma Seal for any problematic monsters. I set it in. And next, I run the double MST. I don't run Twin Twisters. I was considering Hey Trunade, but for Floodgates and stuff, you just need that one spot removal. But Twin Twister, it makes you lose a resource, and you just need all the resources you can. So 1 for 1 is pretty nice. Next, for the new side deck card I run, is Heavy Storm Dusters. Initially, I had Cyber Dragons, but I took those out because I feel like now in the meta, Extra Link is not as big of a deal as it was. And you have so much trouble with back row stuff. So, especially against Altergeist and Paleos or True Dracos, like, this card's really good. Next, probably my MVP side deck card. It goes in match. It's just so good. People side this against me, which is really funny because I don't really lose to it, because all I just do is just play with water monsters and I just beat over them. And the amount of times I won with this card against like Goki players, or whatever players, they just can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless if they have a card that can remove this card. Other than that, like, they just can't play. And cards like that, you want in your deck. It just spells out auto win. So yeah, that's it for the side deck. And now for the extra deck. This is my field center. I really take pride in that. But anyways, I run the 1 Electromite, 1 Starborn, Cleafor Genius. I've always been running 1 Electromite. It's just so good. It's the reason why Dinomist is really good. And then the Starboy you can use under Goes and Match and OTK people, and it can search out your spell cancelers. And it's unaffected by spells or traps, so they aren't able to Widow Anchor it or anything like that, so you're able to safely do your plays. Next, I still run the double Infinity and the double Novas. It's the best rank 5s, and it's probably the best rogue card, because people have a tough time getting over Infinity, and they have to bait it, and if you're a smart Yu-Gi-Oh player, you know exactly what to hit, so that's really nice. Next, I run the Bahamut and Totally Awesome package. You can have a board with Totally Awesome Infinity in turn 1. If you just use your Infinity to suck up your Electromite, then you use Bahamut Shark's effect to put Toad. So yeah, that's nice. The new addition I put was the Utopia package. Before it was Bahamut Shark and Mega Fleet, but since I took out the Cyber Dragon, I decided to put these because you run a lot of level 4 monsters. So like cards like Curtain Raiser and Magical Abductor, like you can make this, and sometimes it's hard to get over big stuff, and it has the Armades effects, which is really nice and which you need. Lastly, for the rank 4s, I run the Cowboy, the Ragnar Zero, Dweller, and Tornado Dragon for back row. This is the best rank 4 right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. It's just so good. And with the 500 power boost is amazing. This is to cheese people for the game 3 to win. It's just so good. And then Ragnar Zero. I was playing Cyber Dragons, and the only card that I can think of to beat them is Ragnar Zero, and it worked perfectly fine. The only matchup I'm really scared of right now is Cyber Dragons, but not too many people play them. It's just because they could suck up all your machines and just make their monsters and just go for game. So I had to think of a way to beat them, and I played Cyber Dragons in the tournament, and I used Ragnar Zero to win. So yeah, anyways, YouTube, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please post it down below in the video. And hit that subscribe and like button. Have a nice day.